Look at this, folks. This is a smoked corned beef made fresh right here. Oh, delicious. Well, the day has just started. It's cold out here. It's 29 degrees. Okay. Okay, damper door halfway open. Smokestack full open. All right, we have it preheating finally. It's what it takes. And when I have this up around, the 200-degree mark, that is just perfect for smoking. And that's what I'm gonna want. I'm using mesquite for my smoke today. Generally keep it soaking in water. Well, hello. Welcome back to my kitchen. This is Texas Cooking Today. I'm Stuart, and today I'm going to be making some barbecue. Now, here's the thing. Last year, I did a video on how to make corned beef. And I mentioned that I can't imagine what a corned beef would be like if you had smoked it. And one of my viewers said, Stuart, you really need to try that. He said, smoked corned beef is flat delicious, and that we do it all the time. So I'm going to take his advice. We're going to try this. All right, I've never smoked a corned beef, but I have smoked a lot of beef, and I have made a lot of corned beef, and well, we're ready to get it on the smoker. Here's the thing. I took an entire brisket and I split it the way I like to do, separating the point from the flat. And that allows me to get better penetration when I do marinating, or in this case, brining. Essentially, we've pickled meat. That's what you do in order to make corned beef. So that's what I did over the last several days. That's what this is. It has been sitting in this brine and doing what corned beef does. So what we're going to do, we're going to get this thing pulled out of the liquid and put right out there on the smoker. And I'm just going to take it directly from the liquid here and put it directly on the smoker from this pan. There's no sense in transferring it anywhere else. And if you want the recipe for the corning of the beef, well, that's easy. Just go to my corned beef recipe. It's season 7, and you'll get all the lowdown on how to do this. Otherwise, you can just use a store-bought corned beef. That'd work fine. But remember, I guess you need a smoker too, don't you? So anyway, we're going to get this out on the smoker. First thing I do on days that I'm going to smoke is I start the fire for the smoker. That's the one thing that takes the longest. Getting the charcoal lit, getting it into the firebox, getting more of it on top of that, and getting that firebox and the smoke box heated up to the right temperature. Once they're at the right temperature, it's not hard. You just hold it there all day, and it's just lots of delicious smoking. Now, when I do this kind of smoking, I don't complete the cook on my smoker. My smoker is strictly for the purpose of giving me flavor, getting that smoke to penetrate the meat over a long period of time. The cooking is done right back here in the oven, and I'll put these right back into the same pan. I'll clean it up, yeah, and then we'll put it back in the oven for the purpose of braising it after it has been smoked. So this meat's going through quite a process. First, we're pickling it by corning, then we're going to smoke it, and then we're going to braise it, then it's going to be ready for Thanksgiving. And that's what I'm doing this for. Anyway, let's get on with it. All right, I got 225 degrees, which is pretty much perfect. Now, we don't see a lot of smoke, but I'll rectify that in a minute. When you're using a smoker, it's about getting that heat adjusted first. Getting the smoke flow is really easy. Okay, now, I'm going to take this with the large end facing the fire. Get it right up there. And here's the point. Remember, I went ahead and took care of piecing this apart so that it would give us a better cook. Now, all of the seasoning, I don't care about that. I'm just leaving it right on there. It's fine. It won't hurt it. Now, get the smoke rolling. Now, as I did earlier, got that fire up and going, got extra charcoal on it, and that's keeping the heat. All right, now we need to get something in there to create nice smoke. And that's where I take some of that wood that I've been soaking in water. And I've had people tell me that you don't have to smoke it in water, that doesn't matter, it doesn't change anything. Well, it does. It slows how fast that wood burns, and as a result, you get a smoother, more even smoke release. All right? There we go. Okay, I wanted to get a little more close-up view. So you can see how I put the wood around the outsides up on the metal, and I don't put it directly on the fire. And that way, again, slowing down that smoke release, a little more even smoke plume that I get this way, and I can smoke all day long this way. Well, my temperature is holding perfect at 225. The smoke is rolling slowly. It's blue in color. That's just perfect. It's exactly what you're wanting. Now, I'm going to get in here and fish out my peach tree leaf. I need to go ahead and treat this meat so that it doesn't dry out. Now, normally we would use what's called a mop sauce, but in this case, I didn't want to do that. Mop sauces have a tendency to affect flavor, and I'm just wanting to seal in juices to keep it from drying out and keep that outside from getting too crusty, okay? So I'm just going to go in with some plain old olive oil, and I'm going to use a basting brush to kind of get it evened out on there. There we go. Just that simple. Do that to both of them, and I'll flip them over. Now, another thing I want to mention, in a smoker like this, you have the hot side and the cool side. Rotate your meats, okay? I'm going to be putting my flat where my point has been back here, and just kind of switch them back and forth throughout the process, and that way one doesn't get too hot or overcooked. You're wanting even cooking and even smoking, and by moving stuff around we get that. All right, that's just basic smoking 101, I guess. Now, as far as the flavor of doing a smoked corned beef, oh heck if I know. I've never done one, but I'm really looking forward to it. There are two flavors that I just love, and I think it's going to produce a wonderful product for me. I've got a little bit of dark color going on the outside here, and of course that is from being close to that fire end. And if I pull them a little bit further away from it, I can avoid that. But I'll say this, on briskets, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that really is quite popular, especially in Texas and some other places, are what we call burnt tips or burnt ends. And so you get those ends that are a little darker cooked, and they're not actually burned, but they've have a dark rind on them. And that's just extra caramelization, and that means just extra flavor, and it's extra good. All right, so give that a try. I'm looking forward to this. Delicious. Later on, we'll be pulling these out of the smoke and putting them back in their pan with some water, and we'll braise it to bring it to perfect tenderness. Alrighty, these have had about 8 hours worth of cooking out here. Now they're not fully cooked, but they have definitely got more than enough smoke. So I'm going to take these and we're going to put them in a big pan, the same pan I had them in earlier. And I'm going to take them in, put them in the oven, and we're going to slowly braise these until they're fork tender and falling apart. That's delicious. All right, there it is. So I think I'm going to put the point right here. We'll layer the flat over the top of it like that. This just needs about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of liquid in the bottom. I'm just going to use water and braise it in the oven. And the reason I'm not going to add any other flavors to this, folks, it has been corned and then smoked. I think it's got enough flavor. All right. I'm putting in some hot water. Let's kind of give it a little bit of a head start. Some of the meat sticking out, that's fine. The whole idea here is we're cooking with liquid, cooking with moisture. And it gives us a very supple meat, very juicy meat. And then, of course, the braising is going to cause it to become very tender. Quite literally falling apart tender is what I'm looking for. So it'll be a few hours in here, but that's that. I have my oven at 325. And when it's ready is when the brisket tells us it's ready. You just put a fork in. If it slides out easy, it's ready. There we go. All right, I have just now pulled this out of the oven. It's been in there for a couple of hours, and we're seeing some of that fork tender kind of condition. Now the flat here is still a little bit firm, but that's kind of normal for that. We're going to cut into it anyway. We're going to take a look at this right now, see what we've got going on, and I think got a beautiful, beautiful product here. Can't wait to taste it. Okay, now on this brisket, the grain doesn't run this way. It actually kind of runs at an angle like this. And so I'm going to be cutting across the grain this way. Let's take a peek at this little guy. Oh, there we go. Ready to look inside? Oh boy, look at that, folks. Look at that gorgeous color all the way through. Now, for taste. Oh, that is magnificent. And there it is. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful brisket? Okay, so now that I've got this cut up, I can just enjoy it on sandwiches or however I would like to enjoy it. But that's a beautiful, delicious cut of meat right there. Well, folks, It was one of my viewers who suggested that I do this. He said a smoked corned beef is delicious. Tender. He was right. This is fantastic. All right, I can tell you, this is a recipe I'm going to be doing again, because I really didn't expect the flavor to be that good, but it really is. It's over the top. This is so good, I don't want sauce on it or anything. Great. Probably one of the best corned beefs I've ever done. And I really recommend this. Once you try it, you're going to be probably as impressed with it as I am. It was delicious. I used mesquite wood to smoke with today. We finished this off for a couple of hours at 325 degrees, braising it. And now we have a delicious, beautiful product. Folks, try this recipe. Do me a favor. Also, look into the description box. You're going to see a couple of links there. One is for Wildgrain, and that is a subscription product. That is a sourdough bread and pastas and pastries that get delivered to your front door. You put them in your freezer, and when you're ready for them, you pop them in the oven. 20 minutes later, you have fresh bread. It's the best stuff you'll ever try. Try that. That is Wildgrain. Its link is right down here in the description box. Also, you'll see Chef's Temp there, and that is a chef's thermometer. It is one of these guys right here. This little thermometer is fantastic. Your typical chef-style thermometer. It has a light-up display on it that also will invert to whatever position it's in, so you always read it right side up. Very cool thing. It will charge with a USB charger. And neat thing about this little guy, small, easy to use, handy, right there for you. Everybody should have a chef's thermometer, and this one is a good value right now, so take a look at that. Click that link. If y'all will do that, then I will earn a commission on any sales through those links. I do appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe. Click the like button if you enjoyed this. Drop some comments down below. And for goodness sake, enjoy your brisket. Oh, it's a good one.